Hi, I'm Harford County Sheriff Jeff Gahler. I wanted to take a few moments today and share my thoughts about some of the things we've seen in the news across our country, in our state, and even here in our county over the past couple of weeks. To be perfectly clear, and on a point which everyone agrees, what we saw on the videotape from Minneapolis and the death of Mr. Floyd, everyone agrees what we saw was wrong. There is no disagreement on that point. There's also no disagreement, and everyone agrees that discrimination is wrong, racism is wrong, and there is no place in our profession for bad cops. Bad cops are wrong. For these reasons, when I first became sheriff in 2014, I didn't wait for a national tragedy to implement change. We started right away. My command staff did not wait to look and see what change was needed. For those sheriffs and chiefs across the country that did wait until Minneapolis or another tragedy, shame on them. I'm proud of my team's efforts to stay ahead of the ever-changing landscape of best practices, legislative changes, court decisions, and other sources of data to implement change and policy changes here at the Sheriff's Office. Coming into office, I was shocked and disturbed that the Sheriff's Office did not have a policy on unbiased policing. This was one of the very first policies I implemented as sheriff. I was shocked that we didn't have a modern use of force policy. We fixed that too. I was disappointed that there wasn't an early intervention program, a program and a policy that looks at employee complaints and other data to try to identify whether an employee is having an issue that needs to be addressed before it's seen out in the community or on the street. We implemented that during my first term. There was no clear and established disciplinary matrix and penalty matrix for acts of misconduct, ensuring there is no confusion that termination is the punishment for discrimination. Termination is the punishment for racial profiling. Termination is the punishment for integrity violations such as lying. There is now, and every employee knows it. The Sheriff's Office did not have a diverse group of volunteers from our community to look and have input on our operations. That's why I formed the Sheriff's Community Board last year. I was disappointed coming into office about the status of the agency's Incar camera program, outdated and dysfunctional to say its best. Over the first 2 years of my administration, we invested more than $2 million of taxpayer funds to bring the in-car camera system up to the state-of-the-art system that it is today. Not only does it capture the officer's view during a traffic stop or responding to a scene, but we also have cameras in the prisoner areas of our patrol vehicles and of our transport wagons to ensure that the interactions with arrested subjects are always documented. Body-worn camera is another area that's getting a lot of attention here in recent weeks, and an area, again, where everyone agrees. As your sheriff, I have pushed for this the last 2 years, and I will be submitting it in the third year, coming in the next few months, submitting another budget request for it. Our deputies want it, our command staff wants it, I want it, our community wants it. It is a very expensive proposition. Over the next 5 years, between costs here at the Sheriff's Office and the State's Attorney's Office, nearly $5 million of taxpayer funds will be needed to fund this program. Again, we put these things in place, or we were pursuing these things, such as the body camera, during my first term, not because of public pressure, not because of a national tragedy, but because they are the right thing to do. They are the educated evolution of policing. We will continue to look at data and best practices, again, not because of tragedy, but because of our commitment to Harford County. Many sheriffs and chiefs, including myself, have received recommendations from our community reference 8 can't wait, 8 suggestions for law enforcement. They are to ban chokeholds, require a warning before shooting, require a duty to intervene on behalf of officers, require a use of force continuum, require de-escalation, require shooting only as a last resort, restrict shooting at a moving vehicle, and require comprehensive use of force reporting. Harford County Sheriff's Office already meets all 8 of these objectives. The first one, to ban chokeholds, is not something that we train our deputies to do. It is, however, and was, however, not forbidden in our policy. I have directed a policy change that will now ban chokeholds absent a use of deadly force situation. As sheriff, I take great pride in the fact that the men and women of the Harford County Sheriff's Office provide quality services to our community. There's a reason that our county has had record low crime in the last couple of years, including the closeout last year. That is because we have great men and women working for the Sheriff's Office, and we do have a great relationship with a great community that assists in many of these complicated investigations. In partnership with our communities, we strive to preserve the peace and provide a safe environment for all of our citizens in concert with our core values of courage, honor, and integrity. If you'd like to know more about your sheriff's office, please visit us online at harfordsheriff.org or on our social media pages, including Facebook and Twitter. Thank you.